Okay, let's start by tuning up. I actually tune a half step down, use a 7-string guitar, so I'm sure that most of the 6-stringers out there will still be able to pick up a lot of the ideas that I'm about to show you today. So let's start with the low A sharp. Here you go. Next string. Hi, this is Jeff Loomis, and welcome to my first instructional DVD. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the techniques I use in my playing, such as alternate picking, sweep picking, economy picking, also some material from my first solo instrumental album titled Zero Order Phase, as well as Nevermore material. So tune in and tune up. Okay, so I guess we'll just start with doing some simple warm-up exercises. Basically, I just like to do simple stuff, really. I mean, by no means are these any kind of speed ideas or anything like that. This is just something to really get your fingers warmed up and to use all 4 fingers. So what I like to do is just start off on the 8th fret and do a simple chromatic exercise going up all the strings, and that would sound like this. And then I just continue on through all the strings. And then come back down. You can also change up this riff a little bit if you want by starting it on an up pick, just to kind of change things around, you know. I do that as well too. Or if you want to move this exercise around a little bit more and utilize a little bit more of the neck, you can actually play it true chromatic, which would sound like this and look like this. Okay, well, here is another great exercise that I've actually been using for years and years. It's just a great way to go between each individual string, utilizing up and down picking. And we'll just play this in C major. It just starts like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the way back down, it sounds like this. One thing I do want to mention is the amount of momentum you're actually using in your right hand. I think it's really important to, not try to move your right hand so much and just really have it relaxed, you know what I mean? So if you're looking at your right hand, you're noticing that I'm not using like the whole arm movement, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, It's not like that at all. You're really just concentrating on focusing, using your wrist and just the slightest bit of pick momentum that you actually need to pick the string. So. Also, something that I'd like to add, I think it's very important that you use a metronome when you're working with like warm-up scales like this. It can really just benefit you from playing evenly, and it's just your technique will be much better if you work with a metronome. So yeah, just start off very slowly and work your way up to speed. Once you have, a good idea of where you want to play this scale, where it feels most comfortable to you, you can always move it around to another position as well. Like move it down lower, so you have a little bit more of a wide stretch. G major, for an example. Or you could start using weirder scales if you want to, like whole tone scales sound cool with this kind of thing. And that's just, of course, so mess around, see what you can do. One other scale that I use that I really like as far as a wider stretch interval kind of thing is a diminished way on top here, and I'm kind of utilizing an economy picking thing with this as well too, and I just think it sounds great as kind of an ending to a piece of music, but it's just has a very cool sound to it. So check it out, I'll play it slow. Basically, the way the economy picking is working here is I'm starting the whole phrase on an upstroke. And slowly, it's just up, down, up, down, up. And the reason that makes this an economy picking technique is that I'm doing 2 upstrokes in a row when I'm going from string to string. And just gives it a cool tone, and I can play it much faster that way, so that's the reason I like playing it like that. I'll play it one more time. Some of the examples of sweep picking that I do are pretty basic actually, but I like to change things up a little bit to make them a little bit more interesting. So if we were using an arpeggio like this, there's a lot of things you could really do with that. One of those in particular would be something like this. And up to speed, it would sound like this. And you can take that and move that around the neck a little bit to make it even more interesting, or just use it as a warm-up for your arpeggio use. So it would sound like this, slow. One of the things in the bottom part of the arpeggio, which is actually the hardest part about playing it, is you're actually switching up a little bit. So when you're going from the right here. It's probably wise to spend some time on that bottom one just to really get that smoothed out until it's comfortable for you to play. So maybe spend a little time down there. And once you get it down smooth, it sounds really, really cool. All right, well, here's another really cool riff, diminished, of course, again, one of my favorites, that's got a lot of cool tritones in it. And it's basically just going 4, 3, 1, vice versa to that. So it's like diminished here, and then I guess that would be augmented. And then you're going 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, vice versa on that. So you're getting a sound that sounds like this, with all up picks and then all down picks. So up, 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 down, down, down. And then you just repeat that slowly. And then you can go to the shape here, 4, 2, 1. And then I just take the whole riff down 1/2 step, which kind of gives it a classical kind of feel, kind of a classical violin thing or something. That would sound like this up to speed. And as you kind of noticed, I kind of sped the lick up and then slowed it down. That's also a good way to really practice it, by just kind of slowly slowing it down and bringing it back up to speed. Just have control over it, you know. Then you can take the diminished part of it and just really roll with that too to make it sound cool. So you're getting a sound kind of like. So when I'm playing the diminished riff very, very slow, you can almost kind of tell in my right hand how I'm really doing separate picking from each individual note. So it's. And as it slowly progresses, getting faster, it kind of starts turning into a sweep where it's more of a single motion. And you can really start getting crazy with riffs like this by really bouncing from strings to strings here. So if you want to really blow away all your friends at home, try doing something like this. This is really cool. Starting on the lower strings. And it switches here again. And on the last set of strings, it's 4, 3, 1. Basically, just on the last note, I'm just doing a full-on bend to the upper diminished. So just. which is a heck of a bend, but it sounds really cool. Yeah, one thing I'd really like to talk about today as well is the importance of really, I don't know, when you're coming up with all your riffs and stuff at home, you know, it's really important to compose and write music rather than just sitting in your room all day, you know, working on picking technique and stuff like that and how fast you can play. It's very important to really work on writing music and trying to compose a good song. So that's something that, you know, I've always tried to focus on. Even at a very, very young age, when I first started playing guitar, I was always writing music, even if it was on a little 4-track or something like that. So the importance of, you know, writing music and playing with other musicians is very, very important, especially at a young age. So I highly recommend musicians that are just starting out there to play with other musicians and work on composing music. It's very, very important. Most of the times when I'm writing music myself, I will usually come up with about 20 to 30 riffs a day, and not all of them are great, you know. I mean, there's some stuff that I write that's really, it can be rubbish at times, but it's always like I'm busy writing. So out of those 20 or 30 riffs, there's usually, you know, 2 or 3 really good ones by the end of the day. And by the end of the week, you know, maybe if I'm lucky enough, I'll have a whole entire song. So it's just really a matter of work ethic and just writing every day. So I can't stress it enough. Okay, so we've reached the point of the DVD now where we're going to get to a lot of the kind of meat and potatoes of some of the songs that I've written, a lot of the heavy kind of mainliner riffs, if you want to say that. So this first song that we're going to go over right now is a song, the first song actually on my solo instrumental record called Shouting Fire at a Funeral. So the very first part of Shouting Fire at a Funeral is basically, it's all octaves and it's all alternate picked. And I'll play it for you slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a little bit faster. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this next part is the actual verse of Shouting Fire at a Funeral, and this is where I start the solo part of the song. But first I'll show you the rhythm. So here we go. Okay, to break down this riff in Shouting Fire at a Funeral a little bit, I'm basically muting all the notes out except for the top notes. Let me show it to you real quick and I'll explain. So one more time, a little bit faster, and I'll give you a count off so you can play it with me. 2, 3, 4. Then the next riff I'm really doing is kind of just playing octaves of each of the high notes. So it's just very simple. It's just 2, 3, 4. So this next riff is also from my solo record, Zero Order Phase. This is a song called Jado Unit, and this is based off a diminished pattern, and I'll show you the very beginning of it. Here we go. Okay, to break down this next riff for Jado Unit, diminished pattern, all alternate picking, and I'll play it very slow. 2, 3, 4. Okay, up to speed a little bit. 2, 3, 4. So for this next riff off of my instrumental album, Zero Order Phase, is a song called Devil Theory, and let me break it down for you a little bit. Okay, to break down this riff a little bit, there's kind of a little bit of off-time things going on in the right hand, and they sometimes land on upbeats and downbeats. It's kind of weird, so I'll just kind of break it down for you as best as I can. I won't play the beginning as long as it goes on tape just because it repeats itself so much, so I'll just like break that in half and then go into the next bit. So here we go. 1, 2. So to break down this riff even a little more, there is a scale pattern that kind of hooks the very first part and the third part together, and I'll break that down for you and show you a little bit of the third riff too. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. Okay, so another heavy riff that I'd like to show you guys is a song called I Voyager, which is off the Enemies of Reality record. And I will play it normal speed and then slow it down for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so breaking that down a little bit, I'll slow it down and show you how it's played. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so for the very first riff here that kicks in, I'm basically just changing the upper notes and the lower ones as well too, but just in different shapes, starting with these two notes, then to an octave, then I raise the lower, and then the upper. So all together, you're getting a sound like this. The verse riff in this song is really, really twisted. It's obviously very like Meshuggah influenced. It's in straight time, a 4/4 time. And if I was to play it like a little softer for you and tap my foot to it, you can kind of hear how it works. I'll play it for you very slow and kind of tap my foot. Here you go. 2, 3, 4. but cool. These next two riffs that I'm going to show you, I'm working basically with the open low string and just, you know, real heavy sounding, real cool sounding. I like to use this a lot in my playing and write this way. So this first one is Inside Four Walls. And the second riff I'm going to show you is from the verse of Enemies of Reality. So here's Inside Four Walls. 2, 3, 4. And slowing that down a little bit. 2, 3, 4. Now, for the next riff, Enemies of Reality, this is the basically the pre-verse, or actually the verse. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so slowing that down a little bit. As you noticed, I'm playing the very first part of it open and then muting the second bit of it with my right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this is the portion of the DVD where I start showing you some solos, and the first solo I'm going to show you is from Shouting Fire at a Funeral. This is utilizing the harmonic minor scale, the fifth mode of harmonic minor scale in B. So I will play it to you at normal speed and then break it down for you. Breaking down this solo a little bit here, this beginning is basically built off the fifth mode of the E harmonic minor scale. I don't play it the same all the time, but I'll just give you the general vibe of what I'm doing. And here is the beginning scale all by itself if you want to mess around with it. It's really cool sounding. the next song coming up here is Jado Unit, and I'll show you the very first solo I play in this piece. Here we go. So to break down the riff for Jado Unit, this first lead that I'm playing, there's a couple of different things I'm doing with my right hand that I guess you could call them artificial harmonics in a sense sometimes, when I'm just kind of pinching the note. Also at the end there, I'm kind of doing a little hammer-on pull-off legato kind of riff to end the whole thing. That's basically just... So let me just play the whole thing slow one more time. For this next riff, this is also in Jado Unit, and this is a weird kind of bluesy riff. Check it out. So to break down this weird blues riff for Jado Unit, I'm starting on the 22nd fret, and I do a pretty high bend, so you got to kind of get up there to get the correct note, but I'll show you slow. Here we go. Basically, this whole riff is kind of based off a blues scale, a minor blues scale, but which makes it really kind of warped sounding, but it actually really works with the rhythm behind it. Sometimes weird things work, so go for it. Okay, so this is a solo for the song Devil Theory, and this solo is kind of the chorus for the song, and it's based off the B Aeolian scale. We're going to break down this solo a little bit for the B Aeolian scale. I'll play it slow and kind of show you around what I'm doing. Here we go. So one thing I'm really doing on the riff going up in the pentatonic scale is when I'm going from string to string, I'm pulling off on the third finger and the fourth finger from each one. So you're kind of getting the best of both worlds, a little bit with picking and a little bit with legato to kind of give it that unique kind of sound. And then it goes into the next riff, which is. So that I'm pretty much completely picking out. It's just Okay, so for the next section, we're going to work on some arpeggios, and we're going to work with the song Miles of Machines. Okay, so we're going to break down the arpeggios in Miles of Machines, and I'll play this very slow for you. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. When I'm going up in the very, very first part of the arpeggio sequence, I'm doing pretty much sweeps. So it would just be down, 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 up. With some pull-offs as well in there, so. And then sweep. Pull off. Pick, pick, pick. All this is picked on the diminished sequence coming down. Let me play that one more time. Okay, so this is an arpeggio section for Jado unit, and I'm utilizing some minor arpeggios with diminished patterns as well that also have chromatic runs in them. Which I do a lot of, like in songs like River Dragon and stuff like that. It's just a force of habit, I guess. Something I like to do. Here you go. Okay, so back to the arpeggio bit. I'm going to break it down for you and play it slow for Jado unit. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. So this arpeggio sequence starts off in D flat minor, like this. Then it goes into the diminished. That's where I do the chromatic run. So the third sequence would be B major coming down. Into B diminished. Okay, for this next bit, this is the song Devil Theory, and basically this is kind of a classical sounding riff that I actually got from C.P.E. Bach a long time ago. And I actually started playing it just as a simple exercise. But I thought it'd be cool to add like a delay and play that riff half time. So basically just playing it like. Kind of letting the delay do the rest of the work for you. So this is what it would sound like. Let's break this riff down for this delay part here. I'm going to not use the delay for this and just play the riff very slowly just so you can kind of understand what it sounds like without the effect on it. So here we go. 2, 3, 4. All right, let's move on to some sweeps here. This is a section in Devil Theory that's kind of crazy, so watch closely. So breaking this one down, just a bunch of major and minor arpeggios going on. Starting on the 11th fret, 4th finger, coming down in a minor here. Okay, so the last arpeggio sequence is in the song Jado Unit that I wanted to show you, and basically it's just all based in D major. So here it goes. All right, let's break down this arpeggio sequence for Jado Unit. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. So basically in this whole arpeggio sequence, I'm just starting in D major. Then moving up to a diminished. ending it with a D major arpeggio ascending all the way up. Hey everybody, thank you very much for watching my very first DVD. I hope you all enjoyed it. I had a great time, and hopefully you learned a little from something here, and rock on. Thank you very much. Bye. You can also add tapping stuff if you want to with slides as well, which makes it sound really cool. Things like that. So actually I was going down to the whole part of the arpeggio and then tapping on the top.